What are you hearing from your former home?
It is very complicated, the situation at the moment. And then there's a lot of fear and a lot of mixed feelings. For one side, there is joy and rejoice, but we cannot really be in contact with many of our family members and friends, as there's a lot of fear as they monitor any social media or any type of communication in the power right now.
So if you were to write something on a social media post that was hostile to the regime, what might happen to you?
It doesn't even need to be hostile. I can send a message right now to somebody in Venezuela asking about the situation, and they can go into jail, imprisoned, and tortured.
So you have to be very careful when you make contact. So how do you get information back?
For most of us, I think everybody trying to find a way to communicate in a kind of secretly way. So you have to be constantly deleting everything in your phone if you are in Venezuela. But that doesn't guarantee that they are monitoring phone calls. People are very afraid from phone calls, WhatsApp, any social media, any type of communication, emails. Everything has been recorded, as we know, and it's been well documented. When they have captured people, they know everything, where they've been, if they talk in the college or in the university, say something wrong. Your neighbors are monitoring you now. They might be working for the government, and they can tell to the police or what they call the National Guard.
The way the regime has been characterized, initially it was suggested that the Chavez government would actually try to make things better, that poor people would get a break, that the oil monies would actually do good for the country. But very quickly it changed.
Yeah, we all believe, as anybody would like to believe, that there was going to be a huge change. And even here in Ireland, I know there's a lot of big support for Chavez and the Socialist Party. But we will have to understand it is not a Socialist Party. It's communism disguised as a socialism. And that we saw that very quickly. The poor people are not getting any better. They're getting worse. There's just no medicine. There's no food. There's older people living off mangoes, like we'll see apple trees. And it was well known that we make billions and billions. It's one of the richest countries in the hemisphere in America. And it doesn't make any sense that we don't have food or medical supplies for our own people. So for 27 years now, it's the same mafia in the power that we have to understand.
Now, when we heard that the leader of the opposition in exile had won the Nobel Peace Prize, it would seem apparent that if Maduro was toppled, that she would take over. But Trump has now said, no, she's not fit to take over.
Yeah, we don't know because they won the election in 2024, in summer of 2024, with 90% of the votes. So we went for protests. We went everywhere. Nobody wants to hear us. All the international entities, nobody wants to hear. We were invisible to the world all these years while our friends and families have been tortured, killed, imprisoned, disappeared. So we were invisible until now. So I don't know what's going to happen. We are all, as Venezuelans are so well used to, uncertainty, of fear. And this is the first time we have a little bit of joy. But we don't know what's going to happen. We hope that is the first thing is to free the political prisoners who are being tortured as we're sitting down here right now. My heart goes out to all their families while we're here sitting uncomfortably in peace. So all we want is for the prisoners to be released first and no people to be hurt in Venezuela anymore and have a democratic change.
Now, I've been looking at some of the footage of the former vice president, now the acting president of Venezuela. This is Delcy Rodriguez.
Yes.
And it shows her, dancing with people in the villages, and that she's known affectionately, they say, by her first name, by everybody, Delcy. A bit like Michael D, He's known as Michael D. He's affectionately known. So that question of her, where she stands, I mean, is she still in her heart a diehard communist, or is the suspicion that she's made some deal with Trump?
Much respect and love to Michael D. I will never put him in the same category of these people. This is a mafia in the power who have brainwashed.
Including Delcy Rodriguez.
Yes. She is one of the main heads. They have ordered tortures to many, many thousands of Venezuelans. We have to understand the elderly, the parents went out protesting and they started getting killed, disappear, kidnapped. Then the young from the universities start coming out and trying to get back to a new Venezuela. It never happened. Once the students start getting killed in the university, then the teenagers out of high school come out and children from primary school because we couldn't live anymore in the situation where we were. And nobody saw what we were going through for many years. So these people are a narco regime. It is a dictatorship. If you put it together, it's a narco dictatorship. It's a mafia in the power. This is not a politics. This is not any more than a real humanitarian crisis.
How corrupt is the entire system? I mean, are judges corrupt? Are the police corrupt?
Yeah. 100%. You cannot trust the police. You cannot trust the National Guards. I have a personal story, a friend of mine. She had to go outside the country to get medicine for her grandmother. And all she had, the very little money she had medicine in that suitcase. When she came back in the airport, the first thing they just put her in a room, got her naked, asked her for money if she had any dollars. And these are police and National Guards. They're supposed to keep us safe. They asked her who she support. They checked all her phone. She was retained there in jail as she haven't done anything, and they stole everything from her, humiliated her. We don't know what else happened to her because she's really traumatized from this experience. So you cannot trust the police. Nationals, you have zero rights in Venezuela, whether you are with the Chavism or whether you are not with the government. Nobody dares to say something wrong or do something wrong that doesn't please.
If all of these people are corrupt, how do you bring about change?
That is the thing, because in 2024, when people thought, finally, we're going to have a democratic change, everybody that support that, even militaries, people that were work for the government, they did not want to work for the government. They disappear, kidnap, and torture. So what do you tell Venezuelans now to do? How much bravery and resilience can they have when we have lost everybody and anybody? If you ask me, am I a supporter of Trump? No, I'm not. Do I support any nation to invade another nation? No, I don't. But this is a narco regime. We're not talking about a president or a leader of a country. This is a mafia in power, very dangerous mafia for the whole American continent and for Europe. I think for anybody who's listening to this, if you know a Venezuelan, if you care for Venezuela, the underdogs are the Venezuelan people. It's not the government that was in power. So by you supporting, posting something in social media, going and protesting without knowing the situation, you might be supporting a really horrible, brutal regime who's killing people as we speak right now, who are making sure to torture and make people disappear because they don't want to be found out what they have been doing for more than 2 decades.
This is the problem. So many of them have so much to lose if the regime changes.
Yeah, so this is not about political ideologies. This is really a humanitarian crisis at this moment. If you do really care to support, because I know Irish people are so good at helping others, do ask the Venezuelan people how they feel, but don't tell them how to think, how they can support them. Ask them how they can support them, but don't tell them how to feel or think right now. This is the very first time in 27 years of suffering and pain that we have a little bit of hope and a little bit of joy. So please don't dim that light for us. Just help us.